Lisa Marie, and I'm retired right now. And I used to be a special education teacher. I did that for 12 years. And my most recent occupation was a office manager and safety coordinator for a sand and gravel production company. That was quite an interesting job. I did that for 20 years. And I retired 2 years ago. Now I've got my sights set on opening an animal rescue farm. Here we have 40 acres. It's absolutely beautiful here. Um, Lush property. So, what better place to have some farm animals, rescue animals? And I also want to open a summer camp for orphans.
So I heard all very good ideas, as I said before. So, can I ask my first question?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. On the opening day for your animal rescue farm, what do you envision and what will be the starting capacity of animals that you'll take in?
What do I envision? Oh, it's so cool. My vision is so clear, but I can see animals grazing all over, and I can see them wherever I am at, in the house, on the property, whatever. There's just surrounded by animals. I love the feeling of that. I love communicating with animals. There's kind of a silent bond that you can have with animals. It's more of a spiritual thing. So I think that is really, really cool. And yeah, just be surrounded with animals. What better pure, loyal love could you get?
That's true. Actually, I want to ask a question. Do you consider yourself more of a religious person or a spiritual person?
um, I, I more definitely more spiritual. Yeah. I I believe in my God, but I am not a religious person per se. Well, how do you define religion? What makes a person religious and what doesn't?
I wouldn't say someone who has their religion assigned at birth is someone who I'd consider religious. I think it's someone who practices the religion and worships their God.
Absolutely. I agree. But I worship my God, but I still don't feel like I'm religious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a good person. I know what's right and what's wrong, and I do the right things. You know, if you're not, if you're not walking with your savior, you know what I mean? If you're following what you're supposed to, when you're not, that cheating and stealing is not right. So, people know, and I guess you're right. If they don't follow that every day of their life and live every aspect of their life by, in my case, the Bible, right? Then you would not be religious at all. So
It's a pretty broad topic, so yeah. Okay then. At what
one thing I should tell you, never discuss politics or religion with your friends. Don't ever do that
I can
because it
do
won't
that.
end well.
I really don't. Actually, I'm not that big on politics either, so
And that's right. Yeah, I don't care for politics myself, but sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off there a little bit, but
no,
go
it's
ahead.
fine. I like it. Okay. at what animal do, at what animal does your rescue draw the line? Like a horse or what?
No, absolutely no lines. I don't want any lines. Any animal. In fact, I wanted to start with horses. Horses are
Oh,
very spiritual. Uh, Donkeys, anything. The little miniature ones, those would be so cute. um, I do not draw the line. I have a neighbor. They're ready to, their baby lambs are ready to be born. And I just got permission. So when they start, when the mothers are going through delivery, they're going to call me and I get to go and I get to witness the babies being born. So I'm pretty excited about that. And no, there is no line. You know what? I would love to have the wild animal too, because I have a girlfriend that just rescued a an owl here last summer.
An
And
owl.
an owl. Can you imagine? It was injured. It was really in tough shape. And she saved its life and brought it to a sanctuary that was taking, wild animals, wildlife, took it in and nursed it back to health. And so that was a happy ending story. So, yeah, I'm not going to draw the line anywhere. If there's something that needs to be rescued, I will absolutely take it.
So if you found, like let me give an example. So if you found like a lion, okay, let's just take this, that was dangerous.
We talked about that. My husband and I just talked about that. And we don't have lions here. However, we do have bobcats and
Bobcat.
cougars. Yeah. In fact, I just made a video yesterday. We were out walking the property, just checking everything out, and we thought we saw a bobcat track. So we do have bad animals too. We got coyotes and wolves, which are small animals. You gotta, you know, keep them safe because they could get gobbled up in a heartbeat. We have a
That's true.
lot of different, even bear. We have big black bear.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Out in the woods. Yeah. Once in a while, we'll see. We're out on the four wheelers. We're riding on the trails and this and that, just checking out the property. We always see a whole bunch of deer. A whole bunch of deer. Yeah.
So wait, it's like seeing coyotes, wolves, and bears just an average Tuesday morning for you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not out of the norm. It's definitely not out of the norm. Mostly, though, we see deer and turkey. Deer, turkey, and eagles. Eagles you have to be careful of too. Will come by and pick up a cat and be gone.
Oh,
Their talons are so huge.
that's true.
Yeah,
Actually,
there's a lot of danger out in the woods. So, and that's something to talk about, with the animal shelter. There's so much that a person has to prepare for. You've got to have the property fenced in to protect your animals. You've got to have shelter for them. And so there's a lot to consider for sure. I'm not sure how we got off this way. Probably my fault, but
no, it wasn't. Actually, I wanted to ask, another question connected to this one. It's that if you found an injured, endangered animal, then what are you doing? Like after you take care of it and everything, what will you do with the animal?
well, hopefully that's a great question because I've not given that a whole lot of thought about wild animals. I mean, see, the tamed animals, I mean, obviously you would nurse them back to health and hopefully adopt them and give them a forever home, right?
Hmm.
Otherwise, they would live their life out right here. I would not get rid of an animal unless it had a place to go. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
Wild animals, though, however, you would want to reintegrate it back into their nature, their livelihood, the woods. So once you heal them and get them back in shape where they can defend themselves again, then you would want to try to put them back into their normal habitat, the wild.
Oh, so for endangered animals, is it legal to take them in?
If you are a sanctuary, you are licensed, you have your business ID or your nonprofit ID. Yes, there are licensings that you have to have in order to be able to do that. You know,
Oh yeah.
so my girlfriend, when she found that owl, she's not a licensed rescue animal, or you know what I mean? She didn't have something in place, so she had to take it to the closest sanctuary that would take an animal like that.
Oh right. But is there to any law that says that if they're in immediate danger, then it's fine to bandage them up and send them off?
Well, I
And
don't know if it's actually in writing a law, but I know there is a normal procedure like that. Now, don't get me wrong, many people take in, animals that they find out in the woods. Baby deer, for example. You know, mothers get separated from their babies, and those babies are left to fend for themselves. So people have taken those in before. I don't think that it's legal. And if they got caught with, like, say, a baby deer in their home or whatever, they would be in a lot of trouble. They would get in serious trouble for that, probably get fined, you know. And
Mhm.
so other than that, I don't really know if there's a law in place or not. But the right thing to do is to take it to a sanctuary that is equipped to take care of animals like that.
That's a good solution.
And because sometimes this is a good reason why, because let's just say you found a baby deer that was abandoned by its mother or got lost, or maybe the mama got hit by a car. That happens a lot. And let's just say you took in that baby and you hand fed it, you got it healthy enough. If it went back out into the woods again, that mother would deny that baby. It would deny it because it doesn't have her scent anymore. It has human scent on that animal, and the mama will refuse it.
Is this like is this 100% confirmed?
Is it 100% what?
Confirmed.
Um, no, no, because there are cases where that doesn't happen. Most cases it does. The mother will reject that baby, and that's not just deer. That's many raccoons, skunks, you know, puppies, kittens. It's a lot of kittens that the mother won't feed that baby if somebody else is taking care of it at that young age, you know, before they're 6 weeks old. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah, you should research that. I should research that more too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We can always
Actually,
learn more.
my voice right now. I heard about this thing. You know how like dogs have really good sense of smell,
Mm-hmm.
and even if you like, for example, a search dog, even if you put 9 pounds of perfume on yourself or something, whatever, it can still track your scent because our scent goes inside our DNA, and the dog can smell that. So, you know, I'm sorry, I'm explaining this very badly. Oh my god. So
No, that's okay. That's interesting. And I believe that's true. I believe that is.
yeah,
So
so I
no,
mean,
that's a good observation.
thank you. So I'm saying
Mhm.
that the base scent, like the foundation scent that all animals has,
Mhm.
that cannot be switched. That cannot be changed with perfume or a human touch. So wouldn't the deer smell that, or wouldn't the puppy smell that?
You're right, they probably would. They absolutely would. However, they would feel threatened with the other scent on that animal. and that is why they would deny that baby. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
They would take that as a sense of danger because that is an unfamiliar DNA scent, whatever. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, I get it. Okay,
Hmm.
then will you rescue will your rescue be independently run by you? And will it be nonprofit?
Yes, nonprofit. In fact, that is the holdup right now for getting this thing off the ground is not having the funds to because it's going to cost $4,000 just to get the EIN, which you have to with IRS, and then the nonprofit, the actual um, I don't know what you even call it. Uh, the paperwork. It's paperwork. It's all paperwork. But yeah, but that cost $4,000 to have that done, and to have it done right. That's a lot of money.
That
And
is,
yeah, I can't go backwards with my family funds. I mean, we worked our whole life for that, but from whatever I can make from here on out is all going to go to the animals or the orphans, but I need help. I need funds to do that. And we'll do that by having fundraisers or, people out of the goodness of their heart will just make a donation, and people can do that like on my YouTube channel. They can do that.
yeah, you should definitely create fundraisers
Hmm.
because this can be like a community funded sort of thing.
Exactly. And I am building a community. I just started a Facebook page for Buddy's Place. That's the name of the rescue farm and the orphan camp. It's all Buddy's Place. And Buddy's is spelled differently. Buddy was our buddy, which is long gone now. But in honor of him, we named the place Buddy's Place, but we spelt it differently for a couple of reasons. We're spelling it Budeez. It's very unique. It's very different. I'm hoping people will just remember that. And also because I was able to get that email, Buddy's Place at gmail.com, with that spelling. And I was also able to get that website too, Buddy's
No
Place.
numbers, nothing.
So it felt like a no brainer to me. So I know it's different, but it's unique, different, and I like it. So
Yeah, I really like it that it's not just a random name. It has strong meaning to
right,
you.
exactly. Now, and Buddies represents, and this is my imagination getting into the midst of all this. Obviously, you got to have imagination anyway, right? But Buddies is a big blue, beautiful blue stallion of a horse, huge, like one of those Clydesdales, with the big feet and just long, beautiful mane of hair. And he has special powers. Okay. He has special powers. He can see, I'm Granny and Buddies is my horse, right? And we go off on rescue missions, Buddy and I, and he flies me all over the world because he's got these golden wings. That's his special powers.
You should I really love that, like the little story. You should definitely incorporate that into the logo. Have you made a
You know
logo?
what I'm doing? I absolutely have done that. I've with the help of I have created characters for Buddy and for Granny, which represents me. And I'm doing like cartoon. I'm creating little clips, like shorts and reels that where Buddy and Granny go off on rescue missions together. So I am doing that just to keep it alive within me, within my heart, until it's actually open. Do you know what I
Uh,
mean?
I
So
do.
if you follow me on YouTube or just follow me on Buddy's Place on Facebook, then you can see the adventures start rolling out because I'm like this close to start putting little clips out about animal rescue.
Oh,
So
so is it like AI generated videos, or do you type?
well, some is, some aren't, because I was out all day yesterday on the property, just checking everything out, working. We got fencing to put up, we got all these things to do. And I'm always filming or taking pictures. So I have all of that content that I can mix right in there with it, because that is what's real. That is what's happening right now. So I want my audience to see the whole process, you know, and then I'm hoping to keep on in the audience of children too by making these little animated little mini movies or whatever, just little mini videos about animal rescue. And with these animated characters, Granny and Buddy.
This is actually a really great way to start that community you want to make. Like
Well,
you're in.
it I feel just like people laugh at me or whatever, but that's okay. I belong to a group on Facebook that's ran by my mentor and his son and a very good friend. These gentlemen are our mentors, and it's called the Imaginators. And this is what we do. We go in there, our imagination just goes wild. And this is a way for us to give back to people by instilling in them the knowledge that they can do anything that they can imagine, anything that they put their heart to and believe that it can happen, it will happen. And we're watching people transform their visions into reality.
Well, I can't wait for you to be an example of that then.
Me too. Me too. I'm gaining. It's so much fun. And it just, I don't know, you feel so alive when you use your imagination. Why would you not want to feel the absolute best that you could feel 24/7? And if that's when you're imagining your future, or imagining my rescue farm open, or imagining all the orphan kids running around helping with the animals, I mean, if you can imagine all of that, then you can make that happen.
That's true. Very true. I'm sure. Actually, tell me when it does open because I really want to see it. Obviously, it will take time to set everything
Yeah.
up, but I'd really love to see
Well,
Granny.
I will always be putting videos and pictures out there on YouTube channel and on my Facebook page.
Okay,
So just follow me and you're going to know everything that I do.
then I'll do that.
Yeah.
And do you have any animal rescue story you're particularly proud of?
I don't yet, other than my own personal pets. You know what I
Which
mean? And there's no rescue story there, but I have many friends that have rescued animals that they have adopted or this or that. So it just really kind of pulls on my heartstrings, and I am looking to adopt my very first one. I don't know what kind of an animal it's going to be yet. I'm not drawing the line anywhere.
okay.
So um so here, my neighbors down the road, they're getting ready. Their sheep are going to have their babies. So baby lambs are going to be born, and I just got permission to go down there and witness that. So I'm waiting for the call. It could be any day. And
Oh,
so I will be taking pictures. Hopefully I can film a little. I don't want to get too close because not when an animal is stressed like that, giving birth, you don't want to,
shove a camera in their face?
you don't want to, animals they have a keen, very high sense to them, and they can feel how other people are feeling.
Oh, I
And,
heard that with horses.
especially horses. Horses, yeah, for sure. So you wouldn't want to get too close to one that's giving birth, kind of freak it out or whatever, and throw more stress onto that animal. You wouldn't want to do that. So I may get pictures, I may not. We just have to wait and see. So,
Okay, you can get pictures like
mhm.
after a while. I don't know.
After the fact, for sure. But I want to see it being born. I think that'd be really cool.
Have you ever seen like a
N-
sheep giving
Not
birth?
a lamb. No, no. I've seen a baby deer be born. That was quite remarkable. I've seen puppies and kittens. Um, I've never seen a horse being born. So you know what? I am going to experience a lot of new first. Going through this. So, and I'm excited for that. So,
You must be. If anything, what has being in constant pain for 30 years taught you?
what has been a constant what, hun?
I said, if anything, what has being in like chronic pain for 30 years taught you?
Oh, oh my goodness. Constant pain for 30. Yeah. It, what has it taught me? Um, it taught me perseverance. It gave me strength. I am unstoppable now. If I can get through 30 years of chronic pain, I can do anything. Seriously. And it made me aware of all natural, holistic alternatives opposed to pharmaceuticals. I think pharmaceuticals are killing the people. They are not taking, most of our medicines do not get to the core of the problem. Most of them mask it, you know, and then they end up creating more issues. And that's exactly what happened to me.
So were
So,
you taking, sorry, were you just taking painkillers for 30 years?
yes, I was, along with many other medications. Yeah. Yeah.
So nothing to get to the root of the problem?
Well, the doctors didn't. Not until I got off all the medicines. And then when I saw a specialist, we were able to start from scratch, getting off all those medicines. That was an ordeal. That was an ordeal. I ended up being addicted. I was hooked on all these medicines. They controlled my life. I didn't know sometimes if I was coming or going. My husband would be so afraid of me leaving the house and driving because I, who knows, if a person would black out or whatever. So many disastrous things could have happened. And I'm very blessed to still be around to tell people about that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like that. You're looking at the positive side of something that was definitely very terrible and dreadful. How
And I'm a completely different person. You know, um, yeah, I wasn't the same person. And
was you resilient?
medication can control your whole entire life, make you a different person. And I think different now. I I was a very negative person. I was that Debbie Downer. I always thought the worst of everybody situation, oh, you can't do that because da 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 da, this will happen, or whatever. And honestly, I cannot handle being around people that are like that now. You know what I mean? If you can't be positive and uplifting, it's like I don't want to be around people like that, because that doesn't make me feel good. When I feel good, I am aligned with who I am supposed to be.
Positive vibes, huh?
Yeah.
Well, do
Yeah.
you think it was? Do you think learning that was worth the 30 years of pay?
Wow. Well, I
You don't
don't
have to
know.
answer that actually.
30 years, I feel like 30 years of my life was stolen.
Okay.
So, but however, eh, you have to experience life in order to be wiser, to be wiser. I had to go through all that in order to know what I know now, in order to be the next version of myself. We all have a path,
Yeah.
and we don't predetermine that. But then again, we kind of do, because remember what I said about we talked a little bit before we went online, and we were talking about, well, lots of things, right? And uh, see, I kind of lost my train of thought again. That happens once in a while. And you know
Happens
why
a lot.
that happens? Because my brain had to go through experiences like I did.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that you can't really say that it was worth it or not, but it was a part of life, a process that
I
led you
had
to
to
this
go
spot.
through that because I'm on a specific path. You know, my God knows what path I'm on. And He puts us through situations, or our own actions get us into situations that we can't move past until we get that lesson. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? We have to learn something from all of our life experiences in order to get to that next step, that next level, that next spot in your journey.
So
Does
you're
that make
saying that, yeah, you're trying to say that everything you go through is for your path to take you there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think I kind of downgraded what you're saying, but I get the main idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well, it don't overthink things either. Simplify your life. Believe me, you will have so much more enjoyment. So much more.
okay, I'll do that. At least I'll try to implement it. And as an advocate for wellness, how do you think the internet collides with that subject?
How does it
Collide.
say that again? I should look at my questions. I'm so sorry. Because
Oh, no.
a few words that I don't understand.
Oh,
Um,
it's the way I'm saying it.
oh, okay. How does it collide with that subject?
Hmm.
Um, it it's everything to do with it, because of how you think. How you think controls your whole entire life. We can think ourselves healthy. We can think ourselves sick, right?
Okay. So you're saying that, like, can a cancer
Absolutely.
patient consider themselves healthy?
Stress, anxiety, um, everybody experiences that, even you as a child. Am I right?
Yeah, at times.
At
But it's
times.
a general life experience, obviously.
Yes, for sure. But if you had a choice to feel stressed out, or if you had a choice to feel on top of the world. You're so happy and you just love everybody and everybody loves you. How does that make you feel? Just to picture the two, right? Why would you want to feel one way opposed to the feeling good?
But
We
usually
can we can make that happen by our thoughts.
we could, but usually people who are stressed, you know, that's not their last stage. That's not that for them. That's kind of a temporary situation because to
Correct.
be stressed and after. Sorry, I'm actually saying this so badly. After like they're going through all the stress now, so then in the future they can be really happy. Like lots of doctors, when they're in med school, obviously their life is literally flames. But after all that years of med school, then they become a doctor, then they could be happy. So stress is a very temporary situation, and it leads you to a much happier state, possibly if done correct.
That's a wonderful perception. It is. It is a perception, however, because let me try to explain my thoughts. When you have stress, that is when disease starts happening. Inflammation in the body. See, we have to look at our lives as a whole, holistic. Do you know what that means?
No.
Holistic means you look, okay, let me try to explain this. If you're 14 years old, you go to the doctor's office and you tell them that your shoulder hurts. Okay. And they look at you, you've already told them what is wrong with you, right? But so
Mhm.
they are looking at your shoulder. That is what Western medicine people, doctors, that's what they do. They look at people as body parts. They focus on that one thing. They're not looking at the holistic way, body as a whole. Okay. When you have things going on inside your head, let's just say you've been fighting with your mother. You guys had an argument and it's been continuous, okay, for weeks now, and there's no give. This has really been stressing you out, right? You are causing inflammation within your body, right to the root core of your body. And that affects every area of your body. So it could affect you physically, it could affect you mentally, right? Or it can affect you spiritually because it's altering your thoughts. Am I right? I know that's deep, but think about that.
I
Think
get
about
this. I get the what do you call it, for your mental health. Yes, that really does apply. But what about when you get affected?
physical too, sweetheart. Physical too, because any kind of mental strain is causing inflammation within some part of your body. And if we look at the body as a whole holistically,
Oh yeah,
do you
it
know what
could
I
cause
mean?
hives and stuff, like especially stress that causes hives. But what about if you get infected? Then in that case, it doesn't really apply.
Well, but it had to start someplace, right? It didn't just appear infected. It started someplace. It started at the core where that inflammation starts deep in our bodies. Have you ever heard of the endocannabinoid system?
Uh, yeah, like before.
It's ECS for short, endocannabinoid system. It affects and sensors in our body that affects every area. It affects our sight, our hearing, our speaking, inflammation, the mental mental fatigue is stress. Mental fatigue is stress, which causes inflammation. Do you know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying you got to look at wellness as a whole. a person as a whole person, every inch of them, not just a body part.
I guess that's what really sets you apart from a doctor. Like what you're doing is you're not, because what's the point of being very physically healthy if your mental state is, very bad, because then you
Exactly.
commit suicide. And then in that case,
Exactly.
you being physically healthy does not matter. And the same could apply backwards.
Do you know what you just did? You, you, that was brilliant. You caught that, and that is exactly what it is. And oh my goodness, you just threw me for a loop. You are very smart, young lady, and very
Thank you.
wise.
I was
I,
just
I am impressed that you just closed up the whole entire book of the science of getting rich right there. Hit replay, people, and listen to what she said again. Oh my goodness. I,
thank you so much.
I love that. I
My
love that. See, that's what makes me tick. That is so cool.
Like I said, I was just shortening what you said and what I understood from you. So if anything, you just taught me that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is. So on to my next question. What should those who seek personal growth oppose? Sorry.
Let me just make sure. Personal growth. What should those who seek personal growth, what should they oppose?
Mm-hmm.
Being around negative people. You have a choice. That was perfect. You
What
have
if
a
you live
choice.
with those people and you're
Just
under
like
18?
those 5 people closest to you. Same thing.
So actually, I want to give an example for this. But
Okay.
if you live with someone who's very negative and you're under 18, obviously you can't leave, or you
Right.
could, but it probably would not end very well. In that case, what do you do? Do you change them or do you avoid them? Because you live in the same house, so how far can you go?
Right. That's a great question. That's a great question. You can't. People people in situations like that really don't have a lot of choices, do they? So, what I would suggest doing is keeping to yourself as much as possible when you are away from that situation. Seek out positive reinforcements for
Oh, yeah, so
sure.
outweigh the bad.
But you know what? You could meditate.
Meditate.
Meditate, get into meditating, because then you're just within yourself and who you're one with, your God, whoever, Allah, or my God, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as you can stay within your own mind. Get yourself to a different place with your imagination.
That's
Our
true. That's the source
imagination
of
can,
imagination.
my mentor told me a story once about this, and I wish I could remember every detail because it was a wonderful story. But it was, to make a long story short, it was about a prisoner of war, and this is a true story. Um, his name just escapes me, and that's bad on my part. But the story was, he was a prisoner of war, and he went inside himself mentally. It's the only way that he stayed alive. He imagined getting out of, escaping or getting set free. He imagined this, and he imagined sitting down at this huge table and eating all this food. He did that for days. He did it for weeks. He did it for months, and he stayed. That's the only way that guy survived. Is that not? I mean, so yeah, your thoughts are everything,
Definitely is. It's practically the way you perceive life.
right? Absolutely. I just love at 14 that you get this.
Oh, thank you. You're really
You know
warming
what?
my right now. You're
You are going
inflating.
to be very successful in life, young lady. You really are.
Thank you so much. You're really, really nice. You look like actually, I wanted to say this, but I thought it would be pretty odd to mention. But you kind of look like Princess Diana,
Oh,
and also like with the whole
no, that's really way nice. That's
no, but
sweet. Thank you.
the orphanage thing and everything. You have some explaining to do.
Princess, you're funny.
Okay,
Princess
and
Diana. Yeah, I loved her. I did. Yeah.
really,
Yes. In fact, she got married to Prince Charles the same year I married my husband. So I watched her whole wedding on TV. It was really, yeah, it was cool. It was a fairy tale.
wait, so like the weddings, both your weddings were on the same day,
I no, not the same day, but the same month.
same month.
Yeah. So,
Oh my,
but they made such a big deal while it was a royal wedding, right? So I watched I was into it like watching a soap opera or whatever because it was like a fairy tale. I was only, 19 years old. I was very young. So, and she was the same age and she's going through her first marriage, whatever. I was too, and I'm still married to the same man, 42 years.
42 years. What's your secret?
I don't know.
Really? Wow, that's actually very impressive. You
It
really found
is.
the
And
in that one?
yeah, that's it. There's always good and bad, but yeah, you guys, you stick it out,
Oh, I'm
you
very
fall in
happy
love,
for
you
you.
stick it out. You grow like you're more in love because your whole life is around each other, everything we do. So yeah, it's a lifetime commitment.
Oh, will your husband also be involved in your animal shelter?
I hope he does, but I think I don't know. I don't know. If he does, wonderful. If he doesn't, that's okay too.
Okay, that's fine. Everyone has their own little things.
I
Yeah, that's
I think he's gonna fall in love with it. I think he does it. All he sees right now is work, 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 work. So I get that. We've worked our whole life. We're both retired now. So I'm like committing to a huge, you know, it's a huge commitment.
it is.
And so, yeah, but there's ways. I mean, there's ways. I believe it'll happen, and I believe I can create whatever. It'll happen. Good things will come to those who have faith that they will and prepare themselves, be ready to accept the gift because
I'm sure like. I don't think anyone can resist little ponies. So I think you have your answer. He's definitely going to be involved. Probably. I don't know. Actually, I don't know that. But I'm sure he's a really nice person. Okay, next question is mm, was life better pre internet from your own experience? Can you say anything?
well, yeah, boy, life was different, that's for sure. Um Again, living through experiences, yes, life was way simpler then. I grew up, playing baseball in the streets. I was a tomboy and we were always outside playing. And, mom have to call us in after dark, or you have to be home by the street light, and things are so different now. And you don't see any anything like that, you
Yeah,
know?
people are
Um,
practically taking their kids out of the house to go play. So it's very
and
different.
Yeah, yeah. And we didn't have all the technology. We didn't have phones or computers or we didn't have any of that. There was no video games. Atari. Does anybody remember Atari when that first came out? There's a little ping pong paddle and a ball. Do 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 do. I
I
mean, that was
think
the extent of the video game. And we were so excited. I played all night long. It's goofy.
literally I used to play that with my brother.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah, I kind of dated myself there, but yeah, that's what I remember. And being able to let your kids go out and play and not be afraid of the world. There's so much going on that you know people are afraid to travel abroad. Who knows if you'll ever come back. You know, and and I find that sad. I said never talk about politics, but that's exactly what's going on in the world.
People talking about politics?
Well, no, politics are kind of controlling our world. you know
Obviously, it's the government.
hmm
We have the highest authority, so we can't really do anything about that.
right.
Probably not. Okay,
Yeah, so I don't know.
okay.
I don't
And
want to talk about politics, so I think we should move on from there.
of course, what are the three fundamental principles to improving your well-being? I feel like you answered this kind of.
Maybe principal, yeah, your thoughts for sure. Your thoughts, your attitude, your perception. You have a choice in how. We can't help how other people are, but we can help exactly what we are and how we react to things. So keeping that positive attitude for sure. And remember, everything that you've always known to be true may not necessarily be true. You have
Yeah.
to ask yourself, how do you know that? My mentor says that to us all the time, all the time. Don't believe everything that you hear,
Oh,
regardless where it's coming from.
does
Don't
he read
believe
René
everything.
Descartes?
What's that?
The philosopher that said, "Cogito ergo sum." I think therefore I am, and that kind
Okay.
of what you say.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Uh,
much.
yeah, well, that actually, what I like is that when you listed those three principles, I like that you made it all ones that people can easily grasp. Like you didn't say, "Oh, go get $1 million" or
Yeah,
something.
right.
That's in everybody's control.
Mhm.
Their mentality.
Yeah, and I think as a whole, people are good people. I think life and experiences make them go one way or the other, and you can't blame them. I mean, we are stuck with what we were born with. I mean, you are going to be who your parents are. You may be thrilled with that and overexcited and and very happy, or you may not,
So you're saying
depending.
your environment creates you?
You bet, until you are to that age where you can make choices yourself.
So you're saying that like right now at this sort of age you're easily influenced by your environment?
Very much, very much. You are, and as I said before, like three times now, I think you are the five people that you spend the most time with. That
Different.
that's who you are.
Okay then, that's fair. And my next question is, should your job be your passion or should your job pay for your passion? This was actually a question I've been wondering for a very long time.
That's a great question. Wow. Let me think about that just a sec. Hmm. Should your job be your passion, or should your job pay for your passion? Hmm. Ideally, I think your job would be your passion. That's ideally what we all would want, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, huh. I'm trying. I'm trying to. Yeah, that's a really good question. Let's see. I, as things align with your work, with your inner values, and whatever your interests are, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they align, leading that's going to lead you to the best satisfaction yet, right? That's what we all want. So I think that would enable you uh, to pursue your passions outside of work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, oh, good. I was worried there.
No, no, I got what you say. But
Okay.
actually, to talk about uh, my own experience, for a while I like this is game. I think you probably heard about it, Roblox. So for a while I was actually doing art commissions, and I really enjoy doing art, digital art. So
Okay.
I started taking art commissions because hey, I got Robux and I got to draw people, so it was pretty fun. But
Cool.
that quickly changed after I don't know. I think I got up to like I don't know how many I did, but I did around 80. And afterwards, as soon as I got the chance, I completely stopped doing it. And then I did not touch art for maybe 1 year or so because obviously it was not my job. It was just like a little side thing I did for Robux. But still, having it as a sort of job
Mhm.
ruined it for me.
Wow. Wow.
So do you think
That's
that's
that's crazy. You,
yeah?
I am amazed by your insightfulness. You are very, very wise.
Thank you. That's
And
really
you know
sweet.
what? Tell your parents they've done a wonderful job with you.
You're honestly so nice. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Okay,
Yeah,
and my
you.
question. Okay, this is going to be the last.
Okay,
Um,
good. We've kind of had a long interview here, but it's been very insightful. I've enjoyed it, so thank
oh
you.
my god, it's almost been 1 hour.
I know.
Oh,
That's
that's
okay.
yeah. Like I really enjoyed it. I didn't even know it was half of that.
I know, me too. So that's very, very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Having lost your cat that was very dear to you, obviously, do you have any advice for people who are going through a similar situation? And how should they memorialize in your recommendation?
Well, losing a pet is incredibly difficult. Very, very difficult. It's a family member, you know. Um, you got to allow yourself to grieve first of all, and it kind of means a lot if you have like a little memorial place for that you can just remember that pet by.
Yeah, that's true. In
I
your
think
case,
that's important because you have a place to go. You can talk to their spirit, whatever. I think that would make people more feel more assured that that pet's okay. They're up there where they should be, and then you can celebrate memories, whatever. And then when you're ready, then you get another pet. So
yeah, so this way you're not exactly ever letting go of the pet. You're still keeping its memory dear to you.
yeah, and life has its cycles. We're all going to die eventually. It's all a part of life. So you learn to deal with it.
That's true. I
Yeah.
guess losing a family member and losing a pet isn't very different.
It's both equally hard. Both are terrible. Yeah.
Except I feel like people would be less understanding of you grieving your pet than if you were to grieve a human.
I suppose people have their perception of what is a normal time to grieve, what isn't. Isn't that a
Yeah,
matter of perception, really?
that's
So
kind of what.
who's to say? Who's to say what's right? Everybody reacts differently, I think, and you got to respect them for that. Give
Mm-hmm,
them
you
the
do.
time that they need, and yeah,
Yeah.
be
Well,
there to support them.
that's true. You should definitely. Well, thank you so much for the interview, and thank you so much for answering all of the questions very thoroughly.
Yeah,
And
I
also,
enjoyed it. You will have to make sure that I get a copy of this video
oh, it's
because
going to be on my
I would love
Facebook.
to share it on my YouTube channel because I very much enjoyed this. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Pariwash.
You answered all of the
Pariwash.
questions very well. So thank you for that, sir.
You bet. All right.
Okay, goodbye. I hope you have a good
Bye. Thank you. Have a
You're
great
welcome.
day.
You too.